Very, very honored by you each and every time. It looks like, because if I think you may be the first person who joins every time, at least almost all the time. So, hello, Sim Sim Sim. Thank you. I really do appreciate that very much. Hi, everybody. Come on in. Say hello. Come on in. Good evening. How are you, Empress? And it's let's get the glasses. Because I just tell myself that I can see. We can see though. But y'all, I'm gonna be 47 in about a month. Sometimes I'm like, what? Remember when I was just 27, just like yesterday. And my kid reminds me that I'm 3 years away from 50. Like I thank God. Yeah, God. I always say if you can't see, make sure you see in style. Hi everyone. Good evening. Good evening. How's everybody doing? Happy Thursday. Let me make sure this is can see this properly. Happy Thursday. What's going on, people? Hello, Miss Illinois Sanctuary. We're meeting you tomorrow, ma, for an appointment scheduled on Tuesday. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, I guess. All right. I'll see you tomorrow then. I usually don't check my schedule until the day before. Like I just focus on what I have to do for the day. If not, my brain is going to explode. I just can't. So Timothy, yes, I'm a Leo. That's why I think that's why I have a very strong personality. I think. August 21. Hello, Miss Edit Sanctuary. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the Bible says sufficient for the days of double the trouble thereof. So we'll deal with tomorrow when tomorrow comes. But in the morning, I checked and I know. I'm telling you, I went to. Oh, Empress, when is your birthday? I went to get another pair, that had to pick up, and then I saw this and I was like, I had to tell myself like, girl, you're you know what knows. You don't need to get another pair of glasses. August 11. Okay. Happy birthday in advance. I'm August 21. TJ is August 20. Was born a day before my birthday. That's why it is like my handbag. Like he is, you see TJ, you see his mama. Hand in hand. August 29. You're not Leo, but you're August baby too. So yeah, I think that's what that kid is just very much like me. He is the male version of me. And I tell you, and that's the thing because I can't see without the darn glasses anyway. So I have glasses everywhere. My car, purse, because restaurants, whatever. I need it. I'm gonna pull it out and like, hey, I used to make fun of my mom. That's what your fears. I think so. It's to make fun of my mom whenever we go out and she has the glasses and she can't see in the restaurant. I have become my mother. I literally have become a mother. Like I don't know why restaurants think that it makes sense to have the menu prints in fine print. Like who is reading? And then the light is horrible, so you can't even see your smartphone flashlight doesn't really work. Yeah, this is August. August what? Are you serious? I think that's why I love her. See, hi Miss Nilechi, how are you? Leo babies are fierce. So that's, as you can hear, I've already told him I'm getting on my life, but no, it doesn't work. Good evening, beautiful lady. How are you doing? But he was born. Hello, Miss Peggy. I literally was in the hospital on my birthday in 2010. That's hi, Queen Khadija. That was how my son said happy birthday. Hey, because Tiki was scheduled to be born September 3rd. But I had emergency C-section with my oldest kid, no, Oluwaseyi. And really, God has done this because he was in an NICU for about 7 days, either 5 or 7 days, can't remember. I didn't get to hold my child for the first 1 week because it was an emergency section. So we were scheduled, by we, I mean I. Let me not say we. Well, me and the baby scheduled to have a C-section September 3rd, but in true TJ fashion, since we know that he he dances to the tune of his own music, it was the day before my birthday. Actually, it was the 19th. I was having serious contractions. Like I could not sleep. I had to call Dr. Harris then. And because of what happened yesterday, could not take any risk of me going into labor at all. So by the time, oh wow, by the time I called him, and then he called and says, "Hey, if you are still getting that, I need you to report to the hospital the next morning." So about 5 a.m. August 20, 2010, I was in the hospital by 7 something. He was born C-section. So I spent my 32nd birthday in the hospital. Roll eyes. But anyway, this is Attorney 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. I'm an immigration attorney based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. If you've got an immigration case and if the case stop that we can and do, just came early too. Do immigration client, we can represent immigration clients in all 50 states. So call us 334-341-4475. Visit our website, 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. WhatsApp, the same number, 334-341-4475. Hey, TikTok family, what's going on, people? Hello, YouTube, Facebook. Welcome in. And yes, thank you, Mr. Sanctuary. info@𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. We do not take calls on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is strictly for messages, but you can call us during our normal business hours, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Alabama Central Standard Time. So let's talk about standard time zone. I can't even tell you. I think on a daily basis, somebody calls my office and says, "Hey, I'm waiting on Zoom. She's not on Zoom. I paid for some consultation. Nobody's here." And they go on and on and on and on. And then when they finally call or they send a text to me on WhatsApp and they go, "Well, I've been waiting." And they go, "Your consultation is not until, maybe 2 p.m. And it says 2 p.m. And it boldly says, "Please note all times are in Alabama Central Time Zone." It doesn't take anything to go on Google, like, okay, what is my time zone? Or hey, Google, whatever the case may be. What is the time in Alabama? That's all. Just ask. Before you call our office to say, it's loyalty, no, because it's not your time. And then when they tell them, like, "Oh, sorry, highlighted exactly in bold font," I'm always like, okay. Like every single second, before you even click pay or whatever, before you even schedule, is right there. Note is in Alabama Central. So please note, for those who are going to be, Alabama is Central Time Zone. So if you're in, I think it's Tennessee, right? Louisiana, where else? Mississippi, Illinois, I think Minnesota as well. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Some part of Florida, but it's not necessarily in the South, because Georgia is in the South and Georgia is Eastern Time Zone. So, and part of the big chunk of Florida is in the South, a big chunk of Florida is Eastern Time Zone. You just have to just go on Google. Everybody's got a smartphone. Just say, "Hey, what time is it in Alabama?" So that, or just call us first of all, and we'll be glad to even let you know. Okay, it is currently, yada yada time in Alabama, so that helps you. Texas, yeah. So, yeah. Actually, we have people call from Texas that what time. Y'all is like, okay. But anyway, I digress. But we'll be glad to represent you regardless of what state you live in. Please follow, share, like, subscribe. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, WhatsApp at 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Let's talk immigration, y'all. So what are we talking about tonight? Let's talk about this new Dignity Act of 2025. That's what we're going to talk about. Dignity Act of 2025. If you're like me, you're like, okay, how many times one immigration bill called or the other, nothing is being passed, right? Well, Bible says Abraham hoped against hope. We got to keep hoping against hope, in spite of what the circumstances may be, because you just never know. You just never know when God is going to decide. Thank you. When God is going to decide that this group of people are actually going to Bible says the heart of the king is in his hand, just like a river, it turns in whichever direction he chooses. Sometimes God will make your helpers not no rest until they have helped you, even if it's going to be against their own will. Let me say that again. There are times that God will make those who he has designated to be your helpers to lose sleep until they have done that which he has ordained for them to do, even if it's against their own will. Hey, Miss Evelyn. So I say that to say this. They're passing I take that back, not pass, introducing bills and it's one thing or the other, but not it gets squashed and all that. I hear you, but you just never know that one time God is going to say, especially during this time. It may be now that God says, you know what, I'm going to make people that were supposed to be antagonistic to you be the same ones that would show you favor. So that's hey mama, Amazon. Everybody say hi to my mother. So you just never know. Maybe this is the time. But anyway, let's talk about New Dignity Act of 2025. Very, very similar to the one that was introduced back in 2023. Still the same bipartisan bill. And so, what is this going to do? In a nutshell, let's talk about that real quick. This bill is so. First of all, it applies to those whether those DACA recipients also are included, but majority of undocumented immigrants that have been in the country since December 31st, 2020. So I know some, that's since December 21st, 2020. It doesn't mean that it was only when you came in or those who have come in since 2020. No, it just means that as of you've been physically present in the United States as of December 31st, 2020. So that's basically, the English is no respecter of man. So that's basically what it means. You've been here since that time, meaning you've been physically present as of December 3rd. So January 1st, 2021, you've been physically present as of that date. So if you fall into in that category, then that's the first requirement. Next requirement is there's going to be criminal background checks. For you to qualify, for immigrants to qualify for this dignity programs, what it's called, you have to be to pass criminal background checks. There's going to be a restitution fee that has to be paid. Basically, it's like a fee for you being here undocumented for the duration of time. It's going to be $7,000 that each immigrant is going to be required to pay. It's not going to have a direct path to citizenship or legal permanent resident, but it can lead to. So the initial proposal it's not tied to a direct path to a green card, but it will eventually lead to you being able to qualify for green card and then citizenship down the road. It would allow those who qualify to be able to work and have that dignity status it's a temporary status that will be valid for 7 years. And during that 7-year period, you would have basically a legal status under that Dignity Act. You'll be able to, and it will be valid for 7 years. You'll be able to work for that duration of time. You will be able to apply for travel documents so you can travel outside the country. You cannot apply for federal benefits, not entitled to any federal program. And you'll be required to obtain your own health insurance, not through the government, but through you'll have to do that yourself. And every 2 years, immigrants will be required to check in with DHS every 2 years. And during that 2-year period, then you're required to the $7,000 restitution fee can be paid during that period of time. The 7-year duration of that status is renewable every 7 years. There's also going to be a 1% tax that would be imposed on, in addition to your income taxes that you have to pay, and then you have to pay back taxes. In addition to the income tax you have to pay, you also will be required to pay 1% additional taxes on your income tax. So let's see. And then, the other ones are investing some of that 7,000 into American apprenticeship. And in a nutshell, it's not directly tied to green card or citizenship, but it can potentially lead to that, and it gives you an opportunity to apply, because once you have the legal status, you're here, you have that legal dignity status for 7 years, able to work during that time frame, able to apply for travel documents, as long as you pay the restitution. You've been here since December 31st, 2020. You're able to pass criminal background checks. What else? So you're able to work, pay the 1% additional taxes. You pay any back taxes you owe. You're not seeking any federal benefits. You're able to also get your own health insurance. Let's see. So it's very, very similar to the one that was, and it's the same Republican Salazar that's involved in this as well. Very similar. Hey, Miss Lucy, we sent you an email. Hey, finest Shandy, we missed you as well. It's very similar to the one that was passed, back in 2023, but it's just that obviously the House is not being controlled by, Republicans. There's just a whole lot. They just passed this, what they call big, beautiful, whatever it is they call it, bill. So if they're able to pass that, there's nothing that says they can't pass this as well. So let's keep passing bills and all. Now, I've got to be very clear on this, very, very clear. This is a bill that has been introduced into the House. It has not been passed, meaning for this to become law, it has to be passed by the House of Reps. Once the House of Reps passes it, then it makes it to the Senate floor. The House of Senate has to also approve it 2/3 majority. When both houses pass the bill, then it is now forwarded to the president, the president we have now, to now sign it into law. When the president signs a bill that has been passed by both houses into law, that's when it becomes law. That's when it would have an effective date. So right now, there is no, our vacation was good. Right now, there is no law. It has not even passed any of the houses right now, any part of Congress, so that you are very clear on that. The man is a bill that there's a bill that immigrants can apply for. No, there is. It's been introduced to the House of Reps. It has not been passed. They've not even voted on it. So I'll keep you updated to see how this goes. Yes, I understand. You may say, well, they've done this before. How many bills do they want to introduce? And that's understandable, very understandable. But again, you gotta hope against hope. One day, you just never know when that day is going to come, when it's going to be, when you least expect things to turn in your favor. You just never know. So that's that on the New Dignity Act of 2025. Where we get more information on that, we'll let you know. But that's what we want to talk about today. And hold on. Okay, I'll deal with this later on. So that's all short, people. Straight to the point. All right, let's talk. Let's get to questions. Disclaimer: questions, responses to your questions are general in nature, nothing specific to your case. So please note that you cannot run with, oh, that lawyer said this is what I can do. No, it's just a, suggestion, informational purposes only. All right, let's go. Okay. Hello, Mr. Kovina. Are you joining us from the UK? No, you're. I think you've left here. Okay. Hi, Mr. Tola. How are you? Let me go back here and take this out. Look at this, hide this. Then we go back here. Okay. Hello, Miss Dojo. I think, did you see my message? Your first daughter is August 23rd. I think August 23rd is still Leo, right? Is she bossy? People tell me I'm bossy. Hey, let me ask my mom. I already know my mom's answer. Let's see for fun. I'm going to bring my mom one of these days where you guys could ask her questions about me. I'll have a talk with her first, so I can have an idea of things or talk about the things she can't say. But if I'm going to ask her, like, does she think I'm bossy? I'm sure you should ask my younger siblings. They're probably like, are you really asking us that question? And if my mom is still there. Yeah, am I bossy? Do you think so? But August 23rd, I think that she said yes. Of course, you're going to say yes. I don't think I'm bossy, though. I think I'm assertive. That's what I am. I'm not bossy. I'm assertive. She said yes. Can you imagine? Yeah, Banky, for real? She said I'm listening. I don't think I'm bossy. I think I am. I know I'm very assertive, but I don't think I'm bossy. Oh, it's fine. Yes. Okay, let me just read it. If you ask my kids, they'll probably say yes. Let's move on. Y'all don't know what you're talking about. Um, oh, you sent me another email. Okay, I'm gonna have to check it. That it's probably going to be tomorrow. She's calm. We are very calm people, Leo, but we if you if you mess with us, we come back fighting. So for instance, yesterday, I'll tell you guys what happened yesterday. Minding my own darn business in court, because I have two other jobs besides being an immigration attorney. I'm a criminal defense attorney, so I do criminal defense work for the state of Alabama, where they appoint me to represent people who have been charged with crimes. So I did that in the morning. I'm everywhere. So I had criminal court in the morning, and then in the afternoon, I'm also a deputy attorney general for Department of Human Resources for Greene County in Alabama. So I'm the attorney that represents the department. We call it the Department of Human Resources. Most states call it the Department of Family Services. Take the kids that are being abused and represent the department, and then decide whether the kid has to go back. And okay, so we had that in the afternoon. Criminal court was fine, and then had this DHR work in the afternoon. And we're in a hearing. And so one of the attorneys, he said something, and I was going to make I made an objection. And while I was still trying to make my objection, he said something. And I said, no, you're not. I said, that's not what we're going to do today. The judge was like, Miss, I said, I'm sorry, Judge. And then he said, so I'm like, listen. I said, listen here. My mom's going to get plans on it. I said, listen here. Maybe that's how you talk to your wife at home. But when we are here, you're going to talk to me with respect. And don't you ever let this happen to me. Do not ever in your entire life let this happen ever again. Are we clear? The judge had to call me in. So the judge was like, Miss, let me see you. See, we are calm, Leo babies, but we just we stand up for ourselves. That's all. Just saying. But anyway, I digress. Fleming joining from New Mexico. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Aaron. How are you? Hello, Miss Christiana. How are you doing? MB from Texas. Hey, Miss Giwa, how have you been? Good to see you as well. I hope you and the kids are doing well. Okay. Lady lawyers are naturally assertively bossy. Well. Hello, Miss Dabu. Any update on your end? She's motherly, a carbon copy of my mom, and she's motherly to her siblings. She's so sweet. That's nice. And little babies are sweet. I'm telling you, really. We're sweet until we're not sweet. That's usually what happens. But I know, especially, listen, I'm in a field where it's a male-dominated field. I know that. So you're always in combative mode for the most part, and that's just the truth of the matter. So yeah, sometimes you just got to let people know that they can mess with you. That's all. Okay, also, I think I here on Facebook. Sorry, this one. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, so put your questions in the comment section. I'll try to go through as many as possible. Empress, where have you been? I've been here. What do you mean, where have I been? Where? I don't know how to answer that question. Benny Gold, good evening. Okay, maybe tomorrow. Most of today is internet. It's really internet, I'm telling you. Thank you. Empress, okay. Let's see. Happy birthday in advance as well. Okay. With the August babies. I call him Miss Peggy. And it's dark in there too. How am I supposed to tell restaurants? They dim the light. Are like, this is not a romantic evening. We're trying to eat. Like, put romance side on one side, and then those of us who actually want to eat on the other side. Like, yeah. Queen, can you say I'm on time? You're on time today. Everybody. Okay, let's see. I had a merchant. Okay, I see that. That can be traumatizing not to hold your baby for good 7 days. Yep. I was looking at it through, those glass walls or whatever you see. It was, and then you see your child hooked to all those wires and tubes and all that. It was really traumatic. But we thank God for today. Mr. TJ, you come. I had my son to the NICU. Oh no, TJ was TJ was ready to come out. TJ was just always been a fierce one. Uh, NICU or your mom here. Scheduled to arrive September 13, arrive August. Are you serious? Wow. Those babies have a mind of their own. My oldest kid actually came when he was supposed to, yeah, but it just was not, it was stuck in the birth canal because I'm over 5 foot tall. And it's not, but the way they explained it, the birth canal was really, really narrow compared to the head of my kid. They have big heads. And the was smart for you, if not. I'm money for that matter. One thing is fair whenever misses details. Thank you. Hello, Miss Fumbi. Okay, let's see. Yeah, we're live every Tuesday, Thursdays, most Tuesdays, Thursdays. Yeah. 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone. Every other night and time zone, I don't really know. But Google would know. You were right on time, Miss Adina. Yep. Let's see. My helper shall not find sleep until they find me and my entire family. So shall it be from your mouth to God's ears in Jesus' name. One of the cases, and I'm going to bring her, I'm hoping that she's going to come on, but one of the cases that my client, Miss A, had applied for citizenship on her own, where she had an attorney, and it was denied because of lack of good moral character. One of the good advantages she had on her side is that she's in the military. So she consulted with me after the denial and had no clue that, because when you file for citizenship, you're required to prove good moral character for 3 years if you're basing it on marital union, or 5 years for everybody else, except if you're filing based on being a member of the military, then the good moral character requirement is only 1 year. And a lot of people don't even know that, and she didn't know. I was like, oh, how long ago was this? And it's been almost 2 years. Like, bingo, we can actually refile based on still being in military service, but you don't have to wait 5 years since you've already acquired another 1 year. And she was really, but anyway, long story short, filed it. Interview was scheduled last year, and it's been over a year since the interview. But because of the previous denial and the issues relating to why that case was denied, USCIS just would not make a decision on that case. Even when one of our commanding officers reached out, they told them that because they may deny her case because of what happened in the previous case. But she would call me from time to time and say, what would I like? Listen, whoever it is that God is going to a mandate to help you this time around, and if they deny it, we'll refile. But you're going to become a citizen one way or the other. As long as God remains God, you're going to become a citizen. And from time to time, I'll reach out to her. She reach out like, have you heard anything? No, we haven't heard anything on our end. And out of the blues today, when I was just about leaving the office, and I just got an email from her. She goes, Ms. Onole, I was looking at, I got a notification saying that we've taken action on your case. And she went on her USCIS account. And y'all, if you know her story and her file and how really messed up what happened in that first case is, this is nothing short of a miracle. And they've made a recommendation for her to be approved for citizenship. Y'all, I almost passed out. So I was like, she was hyperventilating. People are like, I'm dramatic. I'm not dramatic. I'm very passionate about what I do. And so when things like that happen, You just know it's God. And I say that because Miss Peggy says, my helpers shall find no sleep until they have done that which God sends them to do. When God decides that even those who were supposed to be antagonistic to you, they were supposed to be against you. When God decides that it is your turn to be blessed, when God decides that it is your turn for testimonies to be given and celebrated, even those that were supposed to be against you are going to be those that will show you favor and clothe you with favor until you have reached that expected end. So, regardless of what's going on, let's just keep praying. Let's just keep believing because God still is in business of miracles. I've seen it. I see it. I see it in what I do. And I would just keep believing, hoping against hope. Hoping against hope. I-485 is pending. I don't have real ID, but I have work authorization and Nigerian passport. Can I use for identification to travel to San Francisco? I'm not going to tell you whether you can travel or not, but a foreign passport can be used in lieu of a real ID. But keeping in mind that that can still be a basis for U.S. and for TSA, because keep in mind, y'all, ICE officials are at airports. That's just the truth of the matter. So, and TSA can always refer anyone to ICE. So whether or not that's going to raise any red flags, you just have to find out. If you don't have to travel unless it's absolutely necessary, then don't. I can't even keep up with all these bills again. Thanks, it's like we're always updated. You're welcome. Listen, there's always one thing or the other. One thing so they would use to keep us looped to every new information. As what even I try like, okay, which one should we choose to talk about? Hello, fine understanding. Let's see. Okay, that is true. July 19. 1 year, yes, Miss 𝒊𝒎𝒏𝒕. Saturday will make my green card 1 year. Eternally grateful for that midnight browsing YouTube due to confusion and leading me to you. I can never forget. I still remember your face, and she was sitting on the floor. She was sitting on the floor. I think you cut your hair, Miss 𝒊𝒎𝒏𝒕. Like that was how many years ago? But I think she was. But I thank God our paths crossed. I think you cut your hair. I don't know if you intentionally cut your hair, but you were in New York then. But we thank God for today. 1 year already. Can you imagine? 1 year down, 2 years, 2 more years to go. How our vacation was fine. Now, finally, Sandy, all you TJ internet aunties. I said it on Tuesday. Let me say it again. TJ was not excluded from vacation. The vacation was an adult-only resort. So you've got to be at least 18 years old to go there. TJ is 14, number one. Number two, TJ was at basketball camp that week. So he was not excluded. He was not even interested in going where we went. And he was at basketball camp. So it worked out just fine. All ye internet aunties of TJ. Shout out to 𝒊𝒎𝒏𝒕. So he wasn't left out. Yes, a year already. Can you imagine? Happy greenversary. Happy greenversary in advance. We celebrate with you, Miss 𝒊𝒎𝒏𝒕. Yeah, my mom said I'm bossy. That's okay. She's listening to my explanation. What are the chances? What's the chances? I guess you mean what are I guess you're asking Miss Queen, what are the chances of having your case expedited based on a second incident? I can't give chances. That's just going to be based on your facts. Finance Chandy, I want to warn you and bossy. Okay, thank you. Let's move on. Grandma is right. Whatever. Grandma smashed the table and used the wood for smoky jollof. Miss 𝒊𝒎𝒏𝒕, your words, I'm telling you, I don't know how you come up with this. Whatever. Just want to say thank you for this lives. We need positive vibes and hope in this kind. You're welcome. for the good job of hope you get. We thank God. Grandma, thanks for letting us know. Maybe perfectionist. I'm not a perfectionist. I don't. Let's just move on. When you go, she said she's listening. Meaning you go explain time. I'll call her afterwards. She has to explain herself. Listen, I agree with you. Likes the life. To be on Leon Joe, I have to get it from somewhere, right? Exactly. So I ain't saying more than that. I'm just saying. Just saying. Boom. Whatever. Period. Don't play with her. Listen, I ain't gonna argue with my mother, so let's just leave it alone. In red font. And funny thing is, I was actually wearing red dress yesterday. I think it was a dress. I was just on fire. I wasn't going to take any mess with it. I can never forget the guy's face. He was in shock. I don't think anyone has put in his, and I don't get that way until you make me. So don't come at me that maybe you may talk to your wife that way at home. No, not me. No. If I respect you, you gotta give it back. If you get it twisted, I'll untwist it for you. We're not doing that. No. Does any arrest citation have effect on someone before legal status, even separate background checks done, no records? I'm not sure I understand what that question is, but if you're asking if a criminal arrest can have an impact on your immigration status, you would have to be convicted. And being arrested does not mean a conviction. You have to be convicted or accept a plea, and it would depend on what the offense is. She has been to London to see the Queen. My first niece is August. Don't mind these August people. It's like you how we're celebrating this birthday. Listen, just thanking God. Sticking her out for update. Okay. Praise God. Thank you, Jesus. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. I'm so happy for her. You have no idea. Hope against hope. Yes. That when you think about it, Bible says Abraham hoped against hope. When there's no that you just don't see any way forward. But in spite of that, you say, because he is God, if he has spoken it, then it must be. And if he has spoken it, then I will trust. Even though it makes it, hoping against hope is when it makes absolutely no sense, because it just makes no sense. But when it makes no sense, that's what faith looks like. It makes no sense, but you know it's beyond the power that you have. It's not, you're not trusting in any man or woman. It's not that power that's above all others. Because it says, once has he spoken, twice I've heard, that all power belongs to him. And if all power belongs to him, that means he has the power to do things that do not make sense. And so that his name alone shall be glorified. That's when you hope against hope, especially during this time. We need that kind of hope and faith against all odds. It's not making sense. It looks like everything is nothing is working in my favor. But in spite of that, I would hope against hope, because I know there is no record of failure with God. And if he has never failed for anyone before, as long as I identify as his child, he would not fail when it comes to my turn. That is it. Gotta hope against hope. Yes. God's favor will locate you and speak for you soon with divine remembrance. Amen. Financially, in short, that woman is just a blessed woman. Yes, Mr. Ben, you have no idea how much we would, in short, we would just take her to Canada or something. We'll cancel the live. She's worth it. We'll postpone the live, like y'all can be taking over. We have a vacation to plan. Said something about this TJ mind, but we're not supposed to have been told to mind our position. Yeah, minded. I'm a citizen. Can I travel to Nigeria with my Nigerian passport and come back with? We've already beaten this dead horse. Nothing says you can't use your Nigerian passport to travel. We've already beaten that horse. Maybe from Papa, not Grandma. No. God rest my dad's soul. I have a lot of my mom's characteristics. I'm more stubborn than my mother is. That much I would accept, because my mom is the kind of person that she's very, very forgiving. I'm forgiven. I just hold on to receipts. My mom lets go easy. Me, I will forgive you, not because of you, but because of my peace. But you won't have another opportunity to do that again. So, but when it comes to other stuff, I'm very similar to my mom. Yes, I'll power amongst the head. Hallelujah. And you needed to hear this. You're welcome. Yes. Yes. All right, let's go to TikTok. Hey, TikTok family. 9:13. Okay, let me see. Let's see. Okay. Hello, Miss May. Okay. Do you think the firing of these judges will affect the motions at courts? Yes. So last week, about 17 immigration judges were fired. I think we put a post up on that. I think what they're trying to do is, because DHS has been told there's a lot of recalendering cases that were terminated, recalendering cases, or issuing new NTAs for cases that are terminated, recalendering cases that were administratively closed so that they can dismiss and have people placed in deportation. It's a lot of mess. Some judges are just not having it with DHS. Some judges are denying their motions to recalendar, terminating their new NTAs. So I think this administration is trying to find ways to get rid of the judges that are not doing their bidding, and then they're going to hire those that they can control. But while they do that, obviously, if you're going to take a big chunk in the system that's already backlogged, then you fire almost 20 judges in 1 week. That's going to add even much more to the backlog that we're already seeing. So that's why you can get your master candidate here, and then you may not be scheduled for the main MCH or your individual head until like 2029, 2030, which in this situation, this administration, that you count that as a blessing, because if you have a case 2030, that's 5 years out. God willing, they will be out by then. So yeah, so we are expecting, we're actually seeing delays, so it's not unexpected. Let's see. I filed a motion with I-485, but still did not hear back for 5 months. You filed a motion with you mean you filed a motion to reopen your I-485 link? Is that what you're saying? Can you ask a question? Go ahead and ask the question. Please do not repeat your questions. Marisa, I was going to answer your question, but since you decided to put it 3 times, I'm going to skip it. Apartment maintenance, if I may. Harry, go ahead and ask your question. Okay. Falashayo, thank you very much for bringing that up again. I'm not really sure. Don't repeat questions. It's very simple. So now you just repeat your questions 5 times. It's not going to get answered. Some people are just trolls looking for, people who take time to come talk against immigrants. Are people, I'm sure if you go on there are people who hardly have any profile pictures, number one, because they're low lives. Because if you actually have a life, you would not be antagonistic or looking for ways to diminish what other people that have come from foreign countries. You have no understanding of what brings someone from another country to come settle here. And those are people that will, stand up and say they're taking our jobs, and then you find out they don't even have a job, or they're in Section 8 or something. It's amazing. Well, who's this crown? Not on TLT, no profile picture, but you want to talk about immigrants? Not on this platform. Not on this platform. So, anyway, people just need to self-deport. How about you self-deport to the European country you came from? Let's see. Because I can guarantee you're not Native American. That's even if you know the history of the country. Can I apply for asylum though have an F1 visa? As long as you have a ground, one of the grounds to apply for asylum, you have facts that fit into one of the grounds, then you can. I mean, I can't tell you even if you have an F1 status, you still can apply, and you don't have to. It doesn't cancel out your F1 status. Watching from Las Vegas. Thank you, Miss Rosemary. My daughter is in Ethiopia. After the interview, we did DNA, and then they took her passport. I don't know what's next. Just wait to hear back from them. I can't really talk about your case because I don't know anything about the history of your case. Approved VAWA. Congratulations in the port order, but I-45 transfer to new jurisdiction, but haven't arriving alien status. Okay, so what's your question? Does speeding tickets count as bad character? There's no bad moral character. For citizenship, no. Unless if it's excessive, and then you're not paying, you didn't pay them, or you had FTAs issued against you because of the speeding tickets. But if speeding tickets were reason to not give citizenship, raise your hand. Because, yeah. But it would just depend on if you've got some aggravating factors to be considered. My son was diagnosed with schizophrenia, when he was 17 last year. Can we apply for any status? There's no status based on that kind of diagnosis. But you can try to, that's a long shot, but you can do medical deferment. I don't know how long you've been here. Maybe asylum is one that can be considered. He is a citizen. Okay, he is a citizen. I was thinking you have DACA. There really isn't anything else right now that is going to be quote unquote better than the situation you're in right now. Okay. Does that mean they're working on my I-45? Tolu, I cannot, speculate on your case. I don't know anything about that. But when they transfer a case from one place to another, that's usually because it's part of the adjudication process. And if you are an arriving alien, then it doesn't matter that you were ordered removed. Obviously, you cannot travel. But as an arriving alien, USCIS still has jurisdiction over your case. So being, because you're an arriving alien, they still have jurisdiction over your case. So it's still within USCIS jurisdiction to adjudicate your I-45. So I would anticipate that it's being transferred because it's still part of the process. Okay. Let's see. 921. What happens if the notice of my is approved before the date of the appearance in immigration court? I guess the question is, what happens if your appeal is approved? Then it's remanded to USCIS, but an approved appeal is not it can be a basis to ask to be terminated from court, but it's best to actually have the case remanded and approved. First of all, that is going to give you a much stronger argument to make than just being remanded, because being remanded doesn't guarantee an approval. My vow was approved. Congratulations, but my I-45 is still pending work permit is almost expired and renewed, but I have not received the notice receipt yet. Can I use my VA approval to get my driver's license renewed? It would depend on your DMV. Let's see. VA is 30 months still pending. VA is taking 42 and a half months. I'm always moved by the words of God that does come out of your mouth. I'm thinking right now. But thank God. I got that from my mother. That one I can say. My mother is a prayer warrior. If there's nothing in this world that my mom has taught me a whole lot. But the one thing, the greatest gift is the gift of being a praying woman. Because like your race is so that's it. But we thank God. I have had a green card for almost 3 years now. Can I file for citizenship this year? It would depend on if you're still married to if you got it through marriage, and if you're still married to that spouse and the spouse is a citizen, then yes. If you got it through, if you're not still in marital union to that spouse, then no. If you are in the military, then yes. It just depends on your situation. So it's just not a yes or no question answer to your question. Will persons that still have legal status and has been present in the country since 2021 be eligible for the bill like an F1 said? It doesn't apply to those who are undocumented. Undocumented means you don't have any legal status. What can I do when my case has been sent back to the USA and my wife has not received any notice for refusal, but now they are saying my case expiring soon? What can I do? Sit down with the lawyer to figure out what is going on with your case. I'm like, this is my prayer. I hope you're on the lookout for your response tomorrow. All right. Keep in mind, I have a 7-2-hour window to respond to email. So I think my clients are spoiled because I'm always on my computer. So when some people like send me an email that if I'm on my email, I read. But then if they don't get an email, like, okay, you haven't, it doesn't change the 7-2-hour period. It just means I was working on my emails and you just came in. I just responded at that time. So if it doesn't come in tomorrow, it's still within the time frame, but I'll respond. I'll see the email and respond. Okay, let's see. Finance Shandy, yes. Miss Mary. That is true. Miss Mary, I don't think she's on today. Miss Mary, congratulations, Miss Mary Shady. I'm just gonna put it that way. Became a green card holder, one of the US green card holders in town. We celebrate you. Finance Shandy, I've actually met with her. But yeah, meet up with her. I met with her Kilini Thursday on Tuesday. So we're actually in the process of doing so Teba she will let you know. I met with her 2 days ago. I'm on top of my game. We shut down Canada. Our only rates is Elias Perfume Connection. I know. See, I love you. I don't love you that much. Because that's one thing I don't play. I don't play. Don't come near my perfume collection. Don't come near my perfume collection, my glasses, my purses. Everything else is fair game. I don't care. Those 3 things, no. Let's see. So Teba B1, I actually sent her the contract today. I couldn't be happy. It's just like knowing for both of them is just great. After I-360 approval, a new EAD was issued, C31. My friend already got C9. That was on Tuesday. Is that normal? Yes. A C31 is going to be automatically issued when you have your VA approved, as long as you check. So there's a part on the I-360 form that, I think is on page 14. I will ask you, do you want us to issue an employment authorization upon approval of your petition? If you check yes, most of the time that's your first indication that your VA case has been approved, because you would see we ordered your new card and it will come on your VA receipt number. And people are always wondering, what is a card? Is that a green card? No, it's just the employment card that automatically comes with a VA approved. So it will be a C31. The C9 has to do with your I-485. Can't wait to have conversation with you. I'm looking forward as well. Okay, all right. Hey, Miss Danny, how are you? Okay, I'm not breaking sensuality, no. All right, but I'll try to respond by tomorrow because I know this is very disturbing, and I know it's very disturbing, Mr. Aljo. I can understand. But let me put it this way to you. Let me even tell you, go a step further. I have two clients right now, pending cases. One is a pending vow and 485. Another is a pending I-130 and 485. They both received notice to appear in immigration court. So the one with the I-130, the basis of the notice to appear in immigration court was because their previous I-130, before they came to my firm, was denied last year. The one they filed was denied last year. And then when it came to my firm, we filed a new one. Since last year, we filed this new one. But USCIS just issued them the NTA a month ago. They have a pending case. So it's not like anything has been denied. But the NTA was issued based on the previous I-130, even though they've got a pending case. And then with the VOT one, the previous I-485 that she filed, they refused to transfer it to the VOT case, and they denied that. And we had to file a new 485. But because they denied that, they issued an NTA based on that. So it's a lot of craziness going on. The things that normally would not have happened. It's not illegal because they can, but it's the waste of resources, which never happened under any administration. But keep in mind, they're trying to increase the number is what it is they're going for. The number of people to place in remote proceedings. And so that's part of why they're firing the judge, because these judges are terminating some of these cases. They're refusing to recount some of these cases. So whatever judge is that is not dancing to their tune is being fired. So, but anyway, all right, people. My sister's friend was kind of helpful on documenting work. Miss Peggy Dill. Yep, let's see. Amen, Geraldine. All right. I think we got to every question. Let's see. How can I contact you? 334-341-4475. info@olalayalawfirm.com. If you go on our bio on TikTok, it's the contact information is on our page. Or call our office 334-341-4475. The number is there 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We're closed for lunch from 12 to 1, Monday through Friday. Let's see. Okay. All right. I think thank you. All right. Y'all, listen. It doesn't matter what they're doing. Let them make all the laws. Even if this was a Dignity Act doesn't pass, that's okay. Like I already said, and I will say it again. We haven't been. There's no way God is going to bring us to a foreign land, far from wherever our home country is, for us to be embarrassed or to be ridiculed or to fail. We can't. We cannot, because God, there's no record of failure with God. And if God, there can never be a record of failure with God. And as long as that remains the truth, then the truth is there's no how he's going to watch us fail. It doesn't mean we would not go through the storm. We will go through trials and tribulations, because that's what faith is all about. It gets really testy. It gets really tiring. Yes, we would have moments that we were in it. And sometimes I get kissed I put in so much work into a case and it doesn't go the way I'm expecting and all that. It's very, very frustrating and it's very defeating. But you cannot, because something is defeating doesn't mean you have to get defeated. Because when you get defeated, then you're losing the battle. But you can't lose the battle. You can't worry about battles when there's still war to be fought. So all we can do is just take it one day at a time, knowing that we don't fight our battles. We're going to leave all that and the main war to God. But keep doing what you can do. Keep hoping against hope, having that faith that in spite of what is the circumstances, he remains God and is going to come through for each and every one of us. I'll see you guys.